once you start doing things for a little while, I realized, hey, actually, I'm not too bad at this. I'm not too bad at this music thing. Right. So I just started networking, collaborating with a few people, working my way up, and I mean, I am where I am today, which is nowhere compared to where I'm planning to be, but it's definitely a great start, man.
Right. Okay. And do you mind naming some of the people that you've been working with?
Oh, absolutely, no problem at all. So I'm working with a group of amazing artists. So one of my my producer, who is the guy that I work with predominantly, is Jaden Leaf. Now, Jaden Leaf is an amazingly talented kid from New Zealand. You will definitely hear that name internationally in due time. Jaden Leaf, he can play the guitar, the electric, the acoustic, the piano, the drums. You know, he Logic, Pro Tools, Ableton. He's just a genius, and above it all, he can actually sing and songwrite as well. Okay. So he actually helped craft my music side of things a whole lot. Like, being with him really did influence me quite a bit. Not only that, but I've also launched a little collective of ours from NZ, which is a little young group of independent artists who are all on the same grind and just, you know, coming up on the platform together. And those artists consist of people like Elijah Neblett, Jared McFarlane, which all these names are foreign to you guys, but you know, you'll definitely hear these names in future. People like Nick Dools as well, Brian Gashima, yeah man, Adam Kiddo, Joe Macklin. There's a massive collective there, man. Jaden Leaf, Ricky Oke, Patrick Penne. It's
the network is huge.
Yeah,
the network is big. Okay, so a little bit more about what you stand for as an artist. I know this is a question I asked, the first question I asked, but I want to know more of what, I guess, where do you see yourself in 5 years, and what do you bring to the music industry as an artist? What separates you from other artists that might be in the same category as you?
What separates me is that personally, I believe that I'm very, very poetically influenced. You know, my first encounter with poetry was creative writing, and the whole Shakespearean literature just really flipped my perspective on things. I came across this thing in Shakespearean literature called soliloquy. Okay. Now, in soliloquy, it's literally the man standing there talking to oneself while everyone else is around him is, you know, still, and he's talking to the audience. And I felt like my life has always been a bit like that. So I've always just got like a really in-depth perspective on everything. You'll never hear shallow music or shallow lyrics coming out of me. I mean, all that ignorant stuff is cool, you know, all that stuff that they're cranking the clubs, basic lyrics, basic flow. Yeah, I call it ignorant music, but you know, it's cool. I mean, no doubt, it's fun. People rock out to it in the clubs and whatnot. But at the end of the day, man, if we hear too much of that and we're drowned by that by every radio station and every music channel, when someone does drop something in depth or complex, it not only confuses people, but they don't understand it and they don't really give it the credit it's due. So I believe I'm bringing to the table something that is really refreshing and is going to wake people up to start saying, hey, why don't we do what Tupac said and actually peep the game and actually peep the lyrics and see what these fellas are actually saying?
Hold them accountable.
5 years time, to be honest with you, I've got to restructure my 5-year plan, because it was a 2-year plan to be sitting on radio stations and having interviews and talking to people overseas. So it happened within my first week of launching my debut single. So there's been a bit of a reshuffle in plans. I'm aiming bigger now. I'm aiming bigger.
That's what I'm talking about.
In 3 years' time, I mean, I'm looking at a collab with J. Cole or Kendrick or someone big.
There you go. That's what I'm talking about. All right. So, speaking of dropping the new single, where are you at with that, and how's everything going according to your expectations?
Sorry. That last bit just cut out. So.
Oh, no problem. I was just saying. Since you dropped your single, how has it been going to your expectation? Is everything following you? Is everything going how you planned? Oh, looks like we lost Mez for a second. Let's see if I can get him back on the line.
Hey, is Irie hier even voor de Nederlandse luisteraars onder ons, want Nautic Radio is echt gigantisch veranderd op een gegeven moment. Ik heb hier mensen die worden gebeld uit Nieuw-Zeeland, live op Skype. En aangezien we in een nieuw gebouw zitten, is het internet een beetje zo-zo. Dus we hadden de goede man aan het woord en hij had wat nuttigs te melden. Dus dat was mooi, maar helaas is internet uitgevallen. Dus Dion Cooper, a.k.a. Dion Director, a.k.a. DJ Dion the DJ, DJ Skype Dion or whatever, man. He got way too much AKAs.
I got way too much going on in my life right now, man.
Son.
The writer, everything, writing the scripts, making movies.
Dion the script writer.
Man, you making it sound bad like I got too much going on in my life.
No, man, you're a motivation to be honest, man. Shit, you make me look lazy to be honest, so I have to work, man. Well, anywho, dus voor de mensen daar, ik weet niet hoeveel te luisteren, maar als jullie luisteren, dit is wat er aan de hand is. Het is één grote try-out, we gaan die shit gewoon proberen samen te voegen. Zijn show samen met mijn show, kijken wat er gebeurt. Zoals je het hoort gaat het gelijk een internationale kant uit. We bellen regelmatig mensen van over de hele wereld en we proberen artiesten die niet bij een major label zitten gewoon een platform te geven. Zodat jullie kunnen horen van dingen wat je normaal eigenlijk nooit hoort. Dus als je de radio zat bent, dan is Radio for the World zoiets voor jou. Inclusief Nautic Radio en Deejay Irie, wij draaien wat je nooit hoort. En we geven de kans ook voor MC's en andere producers en muzikanten nu überhaupt om gewoon te vertellen wat ze aan het doen zijn. Maar dat gaat allemaal via Skype en daar moeten we wel internet voor hebben. Ik hoor net het bekende Skype geluidje al, dus ik hoop dat we de beste man uit Nieuw-Zeeland... Yo man, what's his name man?
Mez.
Mez.
Yeah,
M-E-Z-Z?
No, just one Z.
M-E-Z?
Yeah, één Z.
Oké, M-E-Z. Dus als je ondertussen al wil checken wie de boy is.
Yes sir, he's back. Alright, sorry about that, Mez. I think we lost you for a second. Can you hear me?
Can you hear me now?
Yeah, I got you now. You're back.
Yeah, cool. Sorry about that, man.
No.
I don't know what happened.
I don't either. It's Skype. I guess it happens. But it's all right. We're back. We took the quick second to send out a commercial break anyway. But the last question I was asking you, which I feel like is an important question for me, so I wanted to ask you again. As far as the single, you just dropped the single. How are things going according to your expectations?
Far and beyond, far and beyond. You know, I'm a little. This is my debut single. It's my first track. Besides my inner circle and the people that know me on Facebook, nobody in New Zealand ever even knew I did music. You know, I was a nobody.
Right.
And, I dropped the single last week on Sunday, and within the first 3 days, there was over 70 shares. We were at 3,000 views on Facebook, and 3,000 views hits on YouTube. I had the track being sent around all over the world. I had people such as yourself contacting me from Holland, and it's honestly just gone way far and beyond what I was expecting. Right. Way far and beyond.
Okay. Tell me more about the future of the projects that you're going to be putting out. What can we look forward to coming from Mez?
Yeah, absolutely. So last week I also launched a collective. To be honest, we've gotten to a point where we've understood that focusing on the New Zealand game isn't big enough. And so we've gone for an international ground. So literally within the next year, my plan is for you guys to be hearing a whole lot more of Salient Collab and Mez, and to make it as an international artist within the next year.
Very cool, very cool. We're definitely looking forward to it. It's funny that you said before this single you felt like you were a nobody. After hearing this single, I was really impressed by it. I didn't even realize the person, Lynella, that hooked us up knew you enough to be able to connect us like that. So I was like, man, I'm just going to play this on my radio show. This is a dope song she sent me. I didn't know what to expect. And then when she was like, Dion, meet Mez, I was like, oh man, you know him? You know, this is really exciting for me as it is for you to be interviewed here. I'm one of your fans now. You got me as a fan, not only a DJ that'll play your music. I'm a fan. I love the music. So I'm really looking forward to the future projects.
Awesome. Cheers, bro.
Okay, so what about some websites where people can contact you that might want to work with you in the future, or future fans, where can they find your projects as they come?
Yeah, absolutely. So my name is Mez Takesta. So if you were to look me up on Facebook, you'll find me under M-E-Z, Mez Takesta, Tekeste. So pretty much if you want to get at me on Gmail, it's the same thing, Mez Takesta 92 at gmail.com. Feel free to send me beats, proposals, anything at all. But more than that, I currently am at a point where I'm...
Uh-oh. Damn, Skype. Don't do that to us. Go ahead. Sorry? I got you back.
Yeah, for sure. No problem. Look, I was just saying that I've adopted a principle, which is that nobody is too big for an opportunity. We see a big trend of artists getting to a certain stage or producing a certain standard of music, and then they all think they're too good for the rest of the world.
Right.
Yeah, I'm not about that. I'm all about collaborative work. I am all about making it with a whole group of people. So if you've got anything at all that you want to send me, anything you want me to check out, yeah, absolutely. Feel free to reach out. Mez Takesta on Facebook. Dion, I'm pretty sure you can post my link up.
Yeah, definitely.
On my artist page and my personal page.
No problem. That'll be no problem at all. And then I also wanted to promote the video, the YouTube video. You also got a YouTube video up. Can you tell me a little bit about how that came about?
Yeah, absolutely. So I was working on my EP/album. I'm not too sure what it's going to be yet based on how many tracks. But while I was working on it, the opening track was the one that we released as my debut single. But pretty much, man, Jaden Leaf, he's an amazing fella. So we were sitting there with Jaden Leaf. We made the track, we listened to it, and we just pretty much heard the magic. And we were just like, we can't hold on to this. It needs to be out there. It needs to, you know, we need to send it out there. So I pretty much sent it to a few producers. I sent it to a couple people. I did an interview with an NZ celebrity called Jimmy Jackson. And after that, I got reached out. A guy called Isaac Bell reached out to me. Now, Isaac Bell is an amazing, high caliber creative director from New Zealand.
Right.
And he pretty much said to me, look, I love your music. I won't charge you. Let's do some stuff. I really love your stuff. I said, dope, let's do it. So we got together, we made this music video, and it literally just got to the point where we were like, do we release it as an MP3 or do we release it as a visual together? And I wanted to do something different, man. So I've literally just released a single with the visuals on YouTube. You can never find the track anywhere else.
Right.
Yeah, so we will be releasing the MP3 to you as well. But other than that, I'm not going to be selling the track, or I don't think I'll be selling my EP either, but we'll see how it goes.
Okay. Well, we definitely want to help promote you as much as possible, so you can always keep me locked in, so whenever you got a new project dropping or you got new stuff happening, you can definitely call me up and we can promote it as much as we can. I also want to let everyone know that I will be interviewing Mez, a one-on-one interview again tomorrow. Around the same time. We have the interview tomorrow planned. This was just something where I wanted to bring, because I'm here at Nautic Radio, I wanted the listeners at Nautic Radio to actually get a chance to hear about you as well. And yeah, like I said, we'll be promoting you as much as we can. I'll put your links up with the interview that we make tomorrow, and really promote what you got going on, because I really appreciate good music. And like I said, I was a fan after hearing the music first. I heard the music first before I spoke to you, so I was a fan already, and it's just awesome to be able to interview you after hearing your music. So before I let you go, I want to ask you a couple of more questions. One, you spoke on it a little bit. You spoke on it a little bit already, but
I think you're breaking up, bro.
Okay, let's give it a second. Maybe
I can just hear you.
Okay, you can hear me now?
Yeah, you're back on.
Okay, sorry about that. The question I wanted to ask you was something that you touched on a little bit already, about the music industry and the music that's being promoted on mainstream media already. What do you think needs to happen to make the change where music such as yours or other independent artists that are actually talented, what changes need to be made for them to make mainstream music? The mainstream industry, I'll say.
Well, see, this is this is the line of thought that usually ends up sending me into a whirlwind of depression, and then I end up writing. But pretty much, what's the hardest thing is that everything is about marketability. I mean, you got to look good, you got to have lyrics that get people bopping. You know, so you can't say anything. You can say anything you want as long as it doesn't change anything or change anyone's perspective on anything. You know what I mean?
Right.
It's you can't be influential. So I think at the end of the day, we've got to get our mind off the mainstream goal. Our goal shouldn't be to make money off music. I mean, if that comes, then fantastic. It's a great bonus. However, we shouldn't be centered on it. The whole point of music should be for the sake of making good music. It's that simple. I mean, it should be a passion. If you're just making it, for example, I'm in love with the Coco. Amazingly awesome track. I mean, ignorant as shit, but it's very amazing mix. Right. However, the guy who created it, he's a very intelligent man. In an interview, he said himself, I know the song is stupid. I know it's silly. However, I know it's gonna make money. So there are people in the industry who are out there literally just for the money.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Right.
And that's cool. But I think what needs to change is perspective rather than the industry. The industry will always be the same. Right. They're money focused. It's all about money. We can't change that. But what we can do is change our goals. And so to independent artists out there, all I can say is change your focus, man. Focus on something bigger picture than the money, bigger picture than the mainstream. I mean, you think about Talib Kweli or Common or Mos Def. I mean, they're not mainstream artists, but everybody around the world knows them. People like Tech Nine, Immortal Technique, you know what I mean? Right. They're international artists. Their names will go down in history without making that mainstream. Now, nothing wrong against mainstream. I mean, my favorite artist and idol is Jermaine Cole, and he's on the mainstream.
Right.
But I mean, listen to 2014 Forest Hill Drive, and he'll tell you exactly how to keep it real while being in the mainstream.
Right. Okay. What a beautiful answer.
Yeah.
That's a beautiful answer to that question. I've asked. It's like one of my go-to questions when I'm interviewing people, because I'm always interested in people's opinions of the mainstream and everything that's going on. So that was a beautiful answer.
Thank you.
I also want to know what happens in the studio when you're in the studio recording music. What's the process for you?
Sorry, you're cutting out on me.
Okay, sorry. It's just saying. Hold on a second. Should we cut back?
You're back.
Okay.
What's up?
What's the process of your studio? When you go to the studio, what's the process? Do you hear the music first, the beat first, and then rap over it, or vice versa? And then are there any rituals that you do before recording to relax you and prepare you for the studio session?
There's a lot of things artists do to relax themselves.
Right, exactly.
So pretty much, man, I've got this belief that a lot of artists tend to try and make producers mold around their style.
Right.
However, I personally believe producers are, the catalyst or the key to any good track, and you should always let producers express their creativity on the track. So I never really try and tell a producer what to do. I can just tell them how to maybe just fix a thing here or there, or make this sound a little bit better or whatever. But I always let the producers take their own directive. But once they have, and I've heard a beat that I really like, I get them to send it to me, and then I spend about, I don't know, anywhere from a week to a couple of months just with that song on repeat until I can come up with the perfect concept for it. Because I'm a very conceptual artist. I don't just write just for the sake of writing. I'm all about the concepts. And so I listen to it on repeat over and over again. And when I finally get that whiff of inspiration that gives me the perfect concept, and I start writing to it and I finally have it, we book a studio time, I go in. Ritual-wise, man, honestly, it's I don't have a ritual. I just simply... There's no time to waste in there.
Okay. Well, I feel like I've asked that question. Like I have some go-to questions when I'm asking, because these are things. Knowing the process of being an artist, I once attempted to be an artist, but I felt like I didn't have the talent.
Sorry, Dion. You cut out.
It's okay. It should come right back. It's the internet. Like I explained to you before, the internet here is kind of.
Can you hear me, bro?
I can hear you fine. Hold on a second. Anyway, the websites, Nautic Radio websites, you want to give that stuff out real quick while I try to get him back?
Yo, 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 1, 2. Can I get my mic?
Yeah, it's up.
Yes, sir. 1, 2, 1,
I can hear
2.
you now, bro.
Okay. You can hear it now?
Yeah.
Okay, sorry about that. Well, like I was saying anyway, this is just something that, you know, just to give the people a taste of what you got going on. Is there, can you give the websites again one more time, the websites where people can contact you or find your future projects?
Can y'all hear me?
Yeah. Your websites,
cool.
give me your websites again.
Yeah. Now, look, my Facebook is currently how you have to do it. I mean, I'm currently focusing on the music aspect of things rather than the marketing. So websites, things like that, they're all yet to come. But currently, I'm just focusing on the work itself. But seriously, give them that link, man, and feel free to reach out to anybody at all. If you've got any ideas, any beats, any concepts, or even just some love, you know, reach out. Speaking of next projects, I spent 6 hours in the studio on Saturday, just banging out the next one. We've got a visual coming out in about a month and a half or two, and that's going to be the follow-up off Mercy. And the first track, the first Mercy, was all about the visuals. It's just about the cool concept, not so much about the rap. As you can tell, I was in the shadows quite a bit of the time. Right. Do you remember that deal?
Yeah, I do.
Yeah. Yeah, you know, I'm mostly hidden, which is, we did that intentionally. However, this next track, man, it's gonna be all about the lyrical content. It's all about from the opening right through to the end. You got to listen to everything. This is probably one of the first tracks that I've personally felt really, really, really happy with.
Right. Well, I definitely, it's funny that you say that, because I definitely found it to be very lyrical, very, your talent couldn't be hidden. No matter how much you were in the shadows, your talent couldn't be hidden in that track. So, nice try.
Can you hear me, bro?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Yeah. I was just saying, thank you so much for that, man. I really appreciate it. But I genuinely, like, personally, you know, everyone's their own biggest critic. So
yeah,
for me
for
personally,
sure.
I feel like my best work so far will be on the next track.
All right. Well, anything you want to say before I let you go? Shout outs or anything like that before I let you go?
Can you repeat that? Sorry, you cut out.
It's okay. Anything you want to say that I didn't ask you, or anything you want to let the people know, shout outs or anything like that before I let you go?
Honestly, I'd just like to make a shout out to artists all around the world. If you're independent, you're on the grind, we all know exactly what it's like, man. It ain't easy, but maintain the focus. You got to maintain and keep on, brother. You got to keep pushing. Keep your goal on making music. Music is one of the most amazing things. It's food for the soul. You can cure people through it. We can cure all our issues in the world through it. So
for sure.
On the right things rather than on money and the fame and the media, mainstream media.
Right, for sure. All right, Mez, well, I appreciate you giving us the time for the interview today. I look forward to talking to you more tomorrow. Yeah, I definitely appreciate you giving me this time, and I look forward to talking to you more tomorrow.
Oh, absolutely. I look forward to talking to you tomorrow as well. Thank you so much for the opportunity, man.
No problem, man. It's been great. Obviously, I can't wait to do it again. So everything should be better tomorrow, and then we'll keep me up to date with everything that you're doing, even after tomorrow.
Oh, absolutely. And that's the thing, man. I'm all about my networks, homie. Like, everything's about rapport, simply. And I mean, at the end of the day, and I'm not going to say if, but when I become an international artist and when I'm getting all the emails and the requests and whatever, it's not about who contacts me then, man. It's all about the people that believed in you when I was nobody. You're one of them, bro, and I'll always appreciate it.
Well, sure. You're definitely not nobody to me. You're the future, and I'm all about helping people such as yourself. So let's do this together.
For sure. Thank you so much, Dion.
No problem, man. Peace. I'll talk to you again tomorrow.
All right. See you, Nautic.
Peace. Dope. I apologize for the problems with Skype. We're actually in a really room that's sealed off right now. So even with my wireless internet, it was a little a little choppy still, but we got it done. I felt like we got the point
It
across.
sounds very promising, man, and I suggest everybody go listen to tomorrow to the full interview.
Yeah, definitely.
He seems like a guy with a lot of opinions and like a good state of mind, you know. So there's a lot to learn from this guy.
Right.
Mez, M-E-Z, from New Zealand. Yes, sir.
Yeah, that's gonna be cool. So shout out again to all the listeners out there that's tuned in on Radio for the World and also on Nautic Radio. We are having a good time. I think you and I both love doing this, right?
Oh yeah, man, this for sure.
This is a love for this.
Oh,
I
yes,
definitely have a love for it. So I guess we'll rock out a little bit longer. Let's do it.
Yes, sir.
Yeah.